Hello everyone, I'm Pacific Casual Gamer, and welcome back to another video. And today, I'm going to talk about a game called Aven Colony. This is actually a very good game. Let me tell you some backstory about it. I found this game because I have Xbox Live Gold, and it was discounted at a hefty discount. It went from like $35, and it had a 60% discount on it, so it was about $15. And I looked at it, and it's basically, I thought it was SimCity in space. And I was like, well, that's easy to mess up. That's the first thing that came to my head as an experienced gamer. And I kind of watched the review, and they didn't mess up anything, and it seemed fun. And I was like, hey, let's play it. So I played it. I love the game. I love it so much. It is something that will enhance your Xbox experience. Let's just say that. Is it a must-buy? Absolutely not. This game is... It's like a simulation strategy game. It's like a city builder. That's one aspect, but it utilizes it so well. But first of all, we have to talk about the controls for this game. And the controls are amazing. They're well thought out. They seem like they were built by people that know how to play Xbox games. Genuinely. Like, the controls are actually, in my opinion, better than Tropico, which I think is a great game, too. You should get that game if you like this game. Because let me tell you, El Presidente is mucho fun to play. I know that sounds racist, whatever. Anyways, the controls are absolutely great. And the rules, when I say game rules, I mean, like, the difficulty. Like, you need 5 wood to build this. That's what I call a rule. So the rules, you know, need the resource pools, like, just the setting. It works so well together. I like, someone literally thought, playing this game, just not even talking about the gameplay, the setting, the rules, and the controls sets you up to have a great experience. The people know what they're doing with this game. Alright? The setting of in space, you're on this planet called Aven Prime, and Aven Prime, it's just people from Earth colonizing another colony. There's a story, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But the setting and the way that it works, and like their use of futuristic technology, it just makes sense. You don't have to sit there and be like, oh, what the hell? What is this water infuriation hydrogen fusion chamber? No, it's a solar panel. It's a geothermal generator, right? A geothermal, like, and the game tells you it's a solar panel. It's a house. Like, literally, the houses in this game are called outposts, which is kind of weird, habitats, and skyscrapers. We all know what those are. The farms are called farms and greenhouses in this game. The mines are called mines and laser mines. We know what those are. Alright? It's great. I love it. Now, the gameplay is probably, in my opinion, it's not better than Tropico. It's different. Tropico has very much of a, like, there's something you need to do, but you need to figure out what to do. This game is, here's the problem, figure out how to solve it. Like Tropico, right? You're on an island, and let's just say you can only grow, like, I don't even remember the crops. Corn. Let's just say corn. You can only grow corn. Or there's, like, a bunch of immigrants coming in. If there's a bunch of immigrants, you know, okay, I need to build houses. And in this game, there's problems, like, oh, you need to generate electricity, but you gotta figure out, do I do it via solar? Do I do it via geothermal? Do I do it via Zorium? Which, the Zorium is easy to understand. There's a bunch of different ways to solve the problem. There's literally one mission that sets you up with, before we're gonna give you your objective, you need to generate 900 power and have 150 buildings. Like, you could do anything with that. So, it works very well. And it emphasizes using your own solutions to solve problems. That's the big part. Now, if you don't know what a sandbox is when it comes to a video game, let me give you a good example. Halo. if you play Halo, most of the time you have close quarters. Like you carry 2 guns in Halo. If you carry a shotgun and let's just say a DMR, you have the option of killing these enemies with a shotgun, or long range with a DMR, or figuring out something else. That is the sandbox of Halo. Halo involves actually movement, weapons, and vehicles. That's the sandbox. And in Halo 5, there's actually a pretty good armorability and movement system. So that's what a sandbox is. The sandbox is the buildings you use. Do you generate electricity via geothermal? Do you do it via solar or thorium? Do you pump water via the other mode of the geothermal? Do you generate water via steam, the atmosphere, or water pumps? Do you farm crops with farms or greenhouses? What kind of crops do you farm? How do you solve happiness with people? All that stuff it's there. How do you create jobs? It's all there, and you just gotta figure it out. Now, there's a story where it gives you a purpose to these missions, but it doesn't matter. It's about the people figuring out the alien race that used to live there, which adds character. Like, it doesn't matter, but it adds character and reason to what you're doing, and it generally enhances the experience. There's a mission where you have to immigrate 1,000 colonists in 10 years. That's your mission. Seems pretty simple. The reason why is because the colony ship is, like, the ship where the colonists are coming down from is infected, and it has a disease. I think that's what I wasn't paying attention, but the colonists are gonna die if you don't immigrate them, and that's a much more human experience. The important thing about this game is, even though it takes place in space on an alien planet, it's very human. It's just well thought out, and so. There's some references in this game, like Twitter, and I think Skype has a different name. It adds such a great touch. It shows that, like, it's funny how it's like, oh yeah, we have all this space colonization technology, but our social media, no, we're done. It's the same as always. Like, it's great. I love it. And the references are well earned, and very much, they're well earned, and the game doesn't go overboard with them either. It's great. They constantly remind you in the story. By the way, this is spoilers, I guess. I'm not really going to explain it all, but they use paperback novels in this game as a reference. And they use it to. There's a story you find within the story, and they relate it to it. It's great. I love it. Now, this is, I think, I just said everything. The game is challenging, great sandbox. I am a tutorial nut. I love when a game does a tutorial right, and this game does the tutorial right. The tutorial very fast, but it doesn't stop there. The game actually has 5 tutorial missions, not 2. The other 3 are disguised as campaign missions and work so well. Like, the game gently pushes you to, to learn how it works. Let me give you an example. When I was first playing, I didn't really focus. There's an electricity. You have to generate electricity to power buildings, and I wasn't focusing on the electricity. And at about the time where I was running out of electricity, the game gave me an objective. Now, they have concrete objectives, so if you know what you're doing, these objectives, you don't even want to worry about it. But to a noob, these objectives were so well timed. The game was like, you gotta build. The game's objective is to build more solar panels or build more electric buildings. And I'm like, oh, I should do that. And then it, benefited me, right? And these are objectives where if you complete them, you get rewards for them beyond the listed rewards. Like, I got immigrants off of it, which I needed more people at the time. But I also fixed my electrical problem, my food problem, my water problems. There's one where you build a trade hub, and you're farming and you don't really know what to farm, and the game is like, export melons. Well, if you run through all the crops you can grow, it just so happens that on the planet you're on, the crop that will grow the most efficiently is melons. And it's just little game designs like that the challenge isn't unfair. It's a fair challenge. And there's a sandbox mode where you can customize it a bunch, just like Tropico. It's great. I love this game. If you're into city sims like Tropico, not even SimCity, just the arcade style of city sims, this game is for you. And you will have a good time. And if you're a space nerd, this game is for you. Because, like, this is the only city sim this and Tropico are the only city sims where I think this is when I have, like, an unemployment issue and people are protesting. I understand that, right? I'm like, yeah, these people would be pissed if they're sitting at home doing nothing but playing video games. Because that's what the colonists do. I'd be pissed, too. I'd be pissed if there was crime in the colony. I'd be mad if the air I was breathing wasn't properly filtered. And it's just great. It really leads your imagination. It brings imagination forward in a way that not a lot of games do anymore. So that's Aven Colony. Get it. It's fun. If you like city sims. The price tag is $35, which is a lot of money. But, you know, I like to say I like to get $1 an hour of fun out of my games. This game is an exception. It is an experience that I just like to have. That's great. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, you can tell me in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new. I don't usually do game reviews, but I bought this game and I love it. So I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer. I suck just as bad as you do at video games, and I'll see you in the next episode, stream or vlog, whatever I decide to make.